Skyburn Crawford. She has a famous name. She has been in this fight around voter education, voter registration, voter mobilization. And she is a warrior out here. So good morning, Cheryl.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am wonderful. Woke up this morning.
That's right.
It's my birthday.
That's the beginning.
That's it. That's it.
So how are you this election year? I know you run around crazy.
I am, but it's a good crazy. I am terribly excited.
I know a lot of us are.
Yeah, thank goodness, right?
Yeah,
like we're
yeah.
bringing the energy back, because I tell you, about a month or so ago, when we were talking about the election and what's coming up, it felt like we were pulling teeth.
I know. Nobody didn't want to hear about
Right?
nothing. It was rough. But then
things changed.
Yeah.
The landscape changed,
Yes.
and people got excited.
Yes,
and I'm
yes.
happy, because we just need you excited.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Engaged.
Right,
wanting
right.
to participate. Right.
That's right.
So I'm
right.
excited. Yes.
Yes. We also have a local election too, because we know every year there's an election in Boston. It's either state or city. On the even years, it's the state, and on the odd years, it's the city. So we have state reps running, we have state senators running, we have a governor's council race that's looking like it's getting excited. We also have the superior judicial clerk, which is another exciting race. There's another one, civil clerk. So there's things that are coming up, that we're hoping. We want our people to go to the polls on September 3rd, but you also can do early voting. You can vote by mail. So there's a lot of things that are happening that we really don't have no excuse now, right?
That's right.
So
I'm so excited that you brought up what's on the ballot, because all politics is local. Right. This is where it has the greatest impact on our individual lives.
Right.
And one position particularly that we are paying extra attention to is the governor's council. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
Because when you flip the ballot over, the governor's council, the register of deeds, and all those positions that you really don't know anything about. I am so excited, because we worked with some students this year from Madison Park that did a piece for us. And I want to share this with you, and we'll get it out there. But it's like Meet the Candidates, and it's a whole brochure on the Governor's Council.
Oh,
each member
great.
for the entire state, right? Like
there's only 8 members, right?
Right. There's 8 districts.
8 districts, right.
Each district is composed of 5 Senate districts.
Oh,
Right, because there's 40
okay.
senators,
Right.
8 districts. Each of them have 5 senatorial districts inside of their boundaries.
Wow. And so a lot of people don't know what governor councilors do. And I found out what a governor council does when I went to Emerge in 2013.
Okay.
Remember Emerge? Yeah, they're doing really good too. They getting them women out there. I actually was in a class with Andrew Campbell in Emerge. So that year, a lot of women that was in Emerge ran for office and
I'm
won.
one of the founding board members of Emerge, and I was the board chair for a couple
Right,
of years.
I think I remember, because I think I approached you when I was thinking about going to Emerge.
Absolutely.
Oh, Cheryl, come to the mic.
Okay.
I know you don't like this type of thing, but listen, we're here. So Cheryl, you're originally, is it New York you're from? Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And so you how did you get to Boston? I know, but tell our audience how you got to Boston.
My mom, single parent, brought me to Boston with her, where she met her husband and family. And we lived here. I've been living here since I was 5 years old. I've done all my schooling here in Boston. Went to Fontbonne Academy in Milton and Leslie. It was a college back then. It's now a university in Cambridge. And, just started my career here in politics. You know, I
Right.
come from a political family, as everybody
Right.
knows.
Right.
But my aunt, Willa Mae Allen, decided to run for state
State rep.
representative in 2006.
Okay.
And she had me
Okay.
quit my job, and I became her campaign manager. So there it is.
Yes. Yes. And you also you have another famous is he your uncle? Cousin James Clyburn.
Yes.
And I watched him with Monday night.
Monday
he tore
night.
up. He tore up. But you know, when you think about it, he really was the one that really got us excited about Joe Biden. I really believe if he hadn't stood up and endorsed Joe like he did, we may have a different outcome. But
That's right. 4 years ago.
yeah, yes, and he's sharp for his age. I mean,
That's
looking
right.
good.
That's what I said. I texted him. Is that all right now?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, but I'm excited. You know, I'm excited because we this is our opportunity. I was blessed to see our first black president, and it looks like I'm gonna be blessed to see the first black woman president. I mean, come on now, you know the way the tide changed. It was like one day. And you know, people kept saying, "Oh well, we got to go to the convention and we got to find a governor or a senator." And I kept saying, "The vice president. That's what she's there for. She's there in case the president can't perform. So why would you go and look for a senator or a governor? You know, I mean, she has a lot of experience."
I'll tell you why. We already know.
Yeah,
you
we know.
First
Yeah.
of all, I must say that Mass Vote is a nonpartisan organization.
Right.
And all the things I will talk about for voting are under the nonpartisan view. But I have to comment on this part right here. America wasn't ready for a woman president. You know what I mean? I almost feel like their hands are almost tied. You know what I mean? Almost tied. When you just have to look at the two candidates.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey said it last night. She said, just use common sense.
Right.
Just use common sense.
Right.
This is our world. And what they're talking about is not being a Democrat, not being a Republican, being an American and fighting for freedom and
Right.
democracy and all the things that we as black people have fought for over all of these years. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
Voting Rights Act 64, Civil Rights Act 64, Voting Rights Act 65. But just all along the way, all of the incremental successes that we've had. Like they said, we're not going back as a people.
Right,
Just as
right.
a people.
Right, right. It's time. It's our time. It's time to make a change. We are the people, and we can do it.
That's right.
So there's just been I haven't really been able to just sit down and watch the convention because I just have been having other things to do. But I did catch Michelle and I did catch Barack. But I'm telling you, they lit it up. They just lit it up, and so it's going to be exciting. I think we're going to have lines again, and maybe at the polls.
Well, we're going to be
Yeah.
ready, and so
Right.
this is a good. Can I bring this up
Yeah.
now? Because I have all my tools in front of me, so that I don't forget anything important. One of the important things that we're going to be talking about this year, not this year now, is election protection. And so
Right.
Mass Vote is working with the Lawyers for Civil Rights and Common Cause
Okay.
right now to recruit attorneys and people to be on watch election day. You know?
Yeah.
Like they have said it, we cannot win by a little bit. People cannot win. It can't be a tight race.
Right.
Somebody has to win like by a
Big,
large
yeah,
margin so
right.
that there's no discrepancy.
Exactly.
But in the meantime, we need eyes and ears on the ground, just watching out for anything that may be going wrong. Everybody should have the opportunity to register their vote on election day, without any hindrances or being stopped for things that we can solve on the spot.
Right,
and many
right.
things the election protection volunteers do is they have a direct connection, a direct line, so that if something's going down, any irregularity is going down, they're able to make that call.
right then and there.
Yes, so election protection is a shameless plug. We're recruiting for attorneys and just regular folk that want to be engaged. When people start thinking about how can I be involved, there's a myriad of ways in which you can be involved in doing your part for the election this year. This has to be the biggest and the baddest turnout ever
Yes,
for
yes.
everybody.
Right.
And we're right there in the middle, you and I, right?
Yeah.
Like we're doing the work right here in Massachusetts locally.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
first things first,
Yep,
the
yep.
primary election.
That's
as
right.
you heard, the primary
primary,
election
yes.
for our state representatives
That's
and
state-
the
yeah.
whole down ballot, right?
Yeah,
Like we
yeah.
have to make sure that we get those people in place.
Right, right.
I want to switch on that other hat so bad after September 5th, right? Like after the election, we'll switch on the other hat for the general. But in the
Right.
meantime, we need to be talking to people.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. People power.
That's it, from the ground up.
That's right. That's right. And that's how we've always done it. We've always been grassroots, because Ayanna like to say the people closest to the pain has the power.
That's right.
And we need to exercise that. We really do, because there's so many things going on, and our young people. I think even our young folks are getting excited.
Yeah.
So
They are.
it's time. It really is time. And so I'm looking forward to see maybe some new people come in office on the state level. It's not, for some reason. It seems like a lot of times there's no competition. So sometimes people run and then they rerun and then they rerun, and then they just get kind of stagnant, But I wanted you to come because I know that you've done a lot of work. Your website, I know there's instructional tools and tutor tools on there, and we also partner with Mass Voter Table, which is where we get our the VAN, which is the Voter Action
Activation Network.
Right. And that's really a nationwide, but we only work on the state side.
Right.
Right.
To collect data. 'Cause
Right.
Data points are critical when people are given misinformation, disinformation, malinformation. It's the data that will prove.
Right,
The
right.
data that will show us which direction to flow in, where the gaps are. I mean, it's just data. We need the data.
Right. So, I know. Do you vote on election day, or do you vote early, or do you vote by mail? I know you don't vote by mail, but I'm just asking.
I don't. I do. I vote in person on election day, but I do during early voting. I visit sites just to see what's going on.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
my mail-in ballot. I just want to see how the systems are working
Right,
for
right,
myself.
right.
So I
right.
do ride around, rove around, making noise.
Yes,
Being
with
loud
the
and
bullhorn.
proud.
Yeah. yes. So, I have a new engineer this morning. Brother Charles. Is that your name, Charles? Jemai, I'm sorry. Where did I get Charles from? I don't know. But good morning.
Good
How are you?
I'm good.
It's good to see you. Yes. So you're gonna be our new So are you gonna be our new engineer?
For the time being, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You like it?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're part of the Academy of Broadcasting, correct? Yep. Okay. So we have here Academy of Broadcasting, where they're literally teaching young folks. They have their own broadcast every day. Is that 12 noon? Is that when it comes on?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, we're getting
Young
them ready.
guys, that's right. Young people are
Yeah.
leading the way.
Yes.
Young people are leading the way, and we need them to step up.
That's
we
right.
need to be there,
Yeah.
us OGs, right?
Yes.
We need. I'm gonna own it. We need to be there so that we can support them,
That's
lift them
right.
up, advise them. But we need them to take the reins.
Yep.
And
run.
giddy up.
Yeah. yes. Because as we know, our elders, our longtime activists, they're leaving. and we ain't gonna be here forever, you know. And if we don't leave the tools for our young folks, what does that say about us? So I thank God for the Mel Kings and the Chuck Turners and the Makia Baker Gomez's and the Sarah Ann Shaws, you know, the Bolin family and the Owens family, you know. And so we have a history here in Boston, you know, of political families, and so I'm just sick. I'm really excited. I can't wait to after September 3rd. You know, I can't wait till my youth program is over, so I can start doing some other type of work. You know, so but it's so I have a copy of the ballot here in front of me.
Oh, okay.
So we have Senator and Congress. I only see one name on here. Elizabeth Ann Warren.
So that means no one's running against you. To your point, I mean, she's doing a great job. I'm not saying that. But elections, when we have elections that are competitive on any level, it brings out more people.
Right, because they if you don't have a competition and you don't have no one to, what are you going to do? You're either going to stay home or you're just going to vote for that person.
Right.
Or either you're going to blank them. But I tell everybody, go to the polls. If you don't like nobody on the ballot, write your name in or write somebody else's name in. You have to go to the polls to be counted.
You have to go and sign in, and I don't care what you put on the ballot, quite frankly, and then sign out. You do have to register. You have to be registered that you tried, that you're engaged, that you want to participate in this democracy. Right.
We also have represented in Congress, it's Ayanna Presley. She doesn't have a
Good.
I don't see.
Oops.
We have it says Counselor Conceal, and this is for the Governor's Council. See, people get confused because they don't realize that this is the Governor's Council. It says Counselor. They don't know what counselor this is.
It doesn't say Governor's Council?
No.
I haven't looked at the ballot just yet. But
It says
one thing we should make clear, it's not city council.
Exactly.
Because this is not a municipal year.
Exactly.
So it has to mean Governor's Council.
Right. But like a lot of people don't know. Cheryl is doing good. She has to go, I think she, Stacy, I'm sorry. I meant Stacy Borden. I think she has like 19 towns or cities on the South Shore.
Oh, they all do. So if you'll look at this,
This is the
right on the back of this brochure here, we have it by district, and look at all the cities on the left side, all the cities and towns for each district.
wow.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
we're sitting
so
in what, District 4, if
yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and from what I understand, he's been on the like 30-something years. He's been in Governor's Ionella.
INL.
Yeah.
I've
Nobody
never
knows.
seen him.
Right, I
Just
don't even know what he
saying.
looked like. Is that what the city council chambers is named after?
And-
Chris Ionella?
Or maybe some family member or something.
Maybe his daddy. I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good research project for my youth. Anytime there's something I don't know, I kick it over to my young people. I say, I need you to look this up and give me the history on it.
Right. So yeah, seems to be like you said, there's 8 districts, and there's 5 senators, and each senator has like a 180
Rep.
180,000, I think. Is it 180
People.
Right,
People.
right,
Okay.
right. And so that's a lot of people, you know.
It is.
And but this guide, where could people get to pick up this guide at?
We have it on our website,
Website?
where
What's
they can
your website?
download it. Massvote.org, MASSVOTE.org. You can get downloaded from our website, but we're tabling everybody's calling. Everybody wants to do voter registration. You know, my biggest concern still remains not just those that are not registered to vote.
But those that are registered and are not voting.
Those that are, say it again,
Those that are registered and not voting.
we need you to vote
Exactly.
this time.
That's right.
You cannot, this is one of the most consequential elections of my lifetime. And I'm an OG. I'm not going to say how old I am, but I'm an OG, and this is the most consequential election of my time. You cannot afford to sit this one out. And I'm telling you, I've been telling people, because we have van, and I do have access to the national van for other associations I have. I'm looking up everybody. I'm looking up everybody that's in my circle. If you don't vote this year, I'm cutting you off. Right? Like I
Right.
say it justly, but this is serious.
Yes.
We can't afford a no vote. A sitting
Right.
out vote does
Yeah.
not count. You need
No.
to go and you need to vote.
Yes, this is People Power with Priscilla. I have Cheryl Clybourne Crawford with me, and we're talking about voting, which is like September 3rd is the primary. So the first thing you got to do is get out there on September 3rd and vote, because a lot of races, believe it or not, are won in the primaries, you know?
All of them.
Yeah, well,
Pretty
yeah,
much, pretty
because
much.
what happens in the primaries then trickles over into the general. So,
That's right.
but for some reason we don't like the primary. Why don't we like the primaries? Tell me, you know why we don't like to go to the primaries?
Well, one, I don't think they understand the primary, right? The runoff between the same party.
Okay,
Right? That's critical.
Okay.
But also, I don't feel like the media gives it the attention. Even right now today, most of the media attention's on the general election.
Yeah.
When have you heard anything locally about our September primary here in Massachusetts? I think that, if the media gave it more, people will be more aware of it. And we continue to talk about it. As you mentioned, we're a part of the democracy hubs that are regional across the entire Commonwealth. And we're working on the ground because we understand local politics, right? And how critically important it is, and how to get the message out there. But we can't do it all. It's everybody has to do something. I'm stealing Michelle's words. I love her. Do something.
Right. I mean, you could literally go through your phone book and call people and be like, "Don't forget to vote. Don't forget to vote. Don't forget to vote." Because a lot of us have I look at all my contacts in my phone. I know a lot of people, so I'm gonna be like, "Don't forget to vote." Texting, we do our phone bank.
Yes.
Our youth group do a phone bank every Thursday from 12 to 3. We were going down to Third Sector, New England. So now we're gonna be doing it on the phone. We're gonna be doing phone banking, but from not at
Tiffany.
yeah. So
I want to just say, I have 100 nieces and nephews.
wow.
Like, my position as the executive director of Mass Vote, a nonpartisan voting rights issue advocacy organization, we cannot tell people who to vote for.
That's right.
In my personal life, my 100 nieces and nephews, my aunts and uncles and cousins, we're texting.
Yeah.
We're texting.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know who to vote for? Aunt Cheryl's about to tell you. Right? Until you can figure it out for yourself, because I do use the strategy of educating people and helping them to understand the differences and how to vote for your values, right? Your values. But until you develop your own values, I'm gonna share Aunt Cheryl's. You know what I mean? But I do. I text my family, and I want them to text me back a "I voted" sticker. I don't care if you put it on your head, on your car, on your wrist. I don't care where you put it, but I want to see that "I voted" sticker.
Right.
But
right.
if everybody concentrated on 5 or 10 people, not the world, just your 5 or 10 people.
Yes.
Get them. Make sure they know where to go.
Right.
Make sure they know the timelines.
Yep.
Because there are some timelines. August 24th, this Saturday, is the voter registration deadline
for the primaries.
for the primary.
Okay, so
I'm
that
pretty
means
sure.
that means that you have to vote. I mean, you have to register by the 24th.
Saturday.
It's this Saturday coming. Now, is City Hall gonna be open?
Absolutely.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
And you
Because
people can also vote online, right? I mean, they can
register.
go on, register. I keep
Online.
saying, yeah.
Register online.
Yeah.
But so something really significant is happening this Saturday, August 24th. Not only is it the voter registration deadline, August 24th, it is also the first day of early voting.
Okay.
So in some kind of interesting way, we have a version of same day registration, right? Like, we've been fighting for this for a very, very long time. Same day registration. And this Saturday, we actually have that happening, but in an interesting way. You have to register at the city or town hall where they have the electronics. I think it's CSIS. I'm probably getting that wrong, but it's the electronic system that when you register, it puts you in the system because they have to see you in the system.
Right.
But
Before
at
you can
City
vote.
Hall,
Right.
you can walk over to the other line because that's one of the polling locations.
Right.
So
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
To
So you can go
explore
register and then go right over
downtown.
downtown at City Hall, One City Hall Plaza. If you're taking the T, Orange Line, go to Haymarket, walk up the stairs, you're right there, City Hall.
That's right.
Yes. It's just a. I mean, I was watching when I was able to watch the convention. I was really getting excited. I was all by my lonesome. I'm clapping. I'm just because I went to the Democratic convention when we did when Andrea Campbell and Mara Healy, and it was exciting. I was a little bit. There was some things, yeah. There was some things I wasn't crazy about, But everybody had their rules and regulations, But it was exciting to be there and to be able to hold up your sign and all that, But on the national level, now that was something to behold. Them people in Minnesota didn't want to go home last night. Could you? That was
I was up way too late messing with those folks. But yeah, I've never had the pleasure of going to the national convention. I am back in the day was a Democratic State Committee woman. I've been to several of the local Democratic conventions in Lowell and Worcester, that kind of thing, which is really exciting. But I've not had that opportunity to do the national convention. But it would have been.
I saw folks on there. I knew. I saw Shagun. I texted him. I
Did
said, "I
you?
know you're having a good time, right?" I saw Chris Worrell.
Okay.
I saw Wu, and I saw Ayana.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice,
from
nice.
Massachusetts. They had but it's definitely exciting, and people are stepping up. I mean, like it's our pastor was talking about a shift, and it was a shift. It was just like all of a sudden Biden woke up and said, "Wait a minute, what's going on here?" But I think that it had to been a strategy.
Boom.
It had to be a strategy because the way people just all of a sudden exploded. It was like okay,
Exactly.
and people say, "Oh, they're not gonna get with her." And, I mean, even some of the Republicans are turning on him. But you got to think common sense.
Well, and it's not about Democrat in this moment.
Right? It's not.
In this moment, it's not about whether you're a Democrat, Independent, or Republican. It's like, what do you stand for?
Exactly.
Like,
What are your values?
What are your
Yeah.
values?
Yeah.
Where do you see this country going? And I can tell you, this is so consequential to me because it's beyond this country. This is like a world thing, right?
Right.
Our positioning in the world, on the world landscape, what's going to happen, what happens, that kind of thing. I think it was a Republican that was speaking, say that a vote for Kamala does not make you a Democrat. It makes you a patriot because you understand the stakes. You understand what's at stake in this election. So
Definitely.
I'm gonna slide away from that because it'll get me in trouble.
All right, okay. so we also have. Let me go back to this ballot. So we also had, like I said, the governor's council. So we have 3 people running. There's Christopher Ionella. He's the incumbent. We have Stacey K. Borden, and we have Ronald Primo. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his last name. But there's 3 people. So there's gonna be a runoff.
Oh yeah, September.
Yeah, definitely. So make sure you all go out and vote. Senator in General Court, Michael Russian. I don't know him. Rob. So none of these people are challenged either. Michael Rush, Rob Consalvo. We know him from District 5.
Ever.
Yeah, huh?
I said from ever.
Yeah. And now he's a state legislator. We have the clerk of Supreme Judicial Court. We have Allison Cartwright and Erin J. Murphy, who is our present city councilor at large. I just want to let y'all know that she's currently our city councilor at large, and she's running for the clerk of Supreme Judicial Court. Then we have clerk, Superior Court Civil. So, and that's John Powers and, oh God, I'm gonna mess this woman's name up. Fatina Kathy Gabriel.
Oh, okay.
You know Kathy?
Yeah.
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 She's running. It's funny because her and Allison have a similar story where they've been doing this work for like 30 something years. Like, I had Allison on last week,
Okay.
and she's coming on tomorrow with Ron Bell on
Okay.
Boston Black News. She works with public defenders.
Okay.
And she supervises public defenders. So she's been in that, doing this work for forever, And the same with Fatima. She's been her name ain't Fatima. I'm sorry, Kathy. I will mess up your name.
Hey.
But yeah, and so these are women that have been doing this work for a long time, and now they're stepping up to be elected to elected positions.
You know what I really like that's happening is that people are showing up as their authentic self.
Mm-hmm,
Right?
mm-hmm,
They're just showing up.
Yeah.
The younger crew of folk,
Mm-hmm.
more brazen, right? More vocal,
Mm-hmm.
right? Less afraid, less
Mhm.
inhibited.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. right?
Exactly.
And I think something that will further that along, I'm going to bring this in right now, ranked choice vote. Like there are
yeah.
pieces of legislation that are just hanging out there that we've not been able to finish the job on.
Right,
And one
right.
of them, same day registration, I spoke about that briefly, which is a total stopgap,
Right.
period, to voting, in my opinion. But we also have ranked choice voting. And it didn't pass when they did it statewide during
Right.
COVID
Right.
for many reasons. But it passed in Boston at 62%. And right now, I'm a co-chair along with Tanisha Sullivan and Rasan Hall. We're co-chairs for Ranked Choice Vote Boston, which we're really we're going to really make it happen because
Right.
Boston knows how to do things and lead the way. But Ranked Choice Vote Boston, Ranked Choice Vote period, will expand the field. And it allows more people to run. There are more people that want to run that are afraid to run. And, feel like, well, maybe it's this person's turn or this person's time. No, if Ranked Choice Vote will allow anybody that wants to run and that we have a true victor, that someone with 50+1 is a true victor in this process.
So explain that, because a lot of people don't understand it. I know I understand it a little bit, but I don't understand it enough to explain it to people.
Okay, so I'm just going to say the mayoral and district council seats rank up to 4 candidates on the ballot.
Okay.
Right, you can rank. And then your top choices will be counted in the instant runoff rounds, eliminating the least popular candidate until one candidate has over 50% of the vote. So
Okay.
this is how it's worked, right? Like you get to rank them first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth choice. If the first choice, if when they do the first round, someone gets 51%, 50+1%, then they're the winner.
Okay.
But if they don't, if it's below 50%, the two at the bottom with the lowest, their votes, the people that voted for them and ranked their ballots, their second choice is reallocated to those that are still on the ballot.
Okay.
It's sort of how I've seen the Democratic State Committee vote this way, where you
Okay.
drop the bottom two, reallocate their votes. Because what we're looking for is 50+1. Because
Okay.
people win with 10%, 3%, because we won't come out to vote.
Right.
Right?
One
Like
vote.
we need to change that.
Mm-hmm.
But ranked choice voting offers that opportunity for us to be able to rank and make sure that our vote doesn't go to waste.
Right.
You right? Make sure our vote doesn't go the way it keeps the election cleaner too, right? Like people are not using all this negativity
Right,
towards
right.
each other because if they don't vote for them, they might
Vote for you. Yeah, that's
so
right.
you
Yeah.
need to be nice. You need to reach everybody. That kind of thing.
Right. Right. So, why do you? Because I know Cambridge does ranked choice voting, right?
A version of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So why do you think people are against it? Is because of the concept of the way it's done? People don't really understand. I also heard that it takes longer to get the results. Is that true?
But Technology, really? You put the algorithm in. It's not like we're sitting back there like the Democratic State Committee used to do, sitting there counting votes. No, they put this in the system. Technology. But I
Right.
think people don't understand, and they try to say people don't understand. But they do, because if you go to, and I'm going to use a real simple analogy, if you go to the ice cream store and I want some maple walnut ice cream,
That's my favorite.
and they do not have it, I'm
I'ma
gonna
get
go to my
something else.
second choice, which
Right.
is pistachio.
Right,
They don't
right.
have pistachio. I might do cookies and you're gonna
You
find a
find
flavor
something
that you like,
Right, right.
but you're gonna use your choices, and that
Right.
it works the exact same way for most things that we do. Your
Mm-hmm.
first, second, third choice, and I can't stand the fact that they try to say that we cannot understand it, because that makes no sense. Of course we can understand. What are you saying? We're not intelligent? We can't figure this out? Yes, we can. I just think it didn't have the opportunity to have full explanation because
Right.
it came out during COVID, and we were
Right.
not knocking on doors during COVID.
exactly, definitely. Well, it's funny. Going back to COVID, 4 years ago,
Wow.
when we started the Black Boston COVID Coalition.
Yes.
I mean, time just like flew. But look at all the work that was done during that time that we did. We,
Yes.
us,
Yes.
because we wouldn't have had our site. We wouldn't have had the vaccine. We wouldn't have had the vaccine site at Reggie Lewis. We wouldn't have had the testing. They didn't even want to give us testing sites.
Exactly.
And so we had to fight for everything, and I thank God for Diane and Makia, God rest her soul, Lewis.
Exactly.
Yes, and we were consistent with that. We and people were very interested.
I have to tell you, Mass Vote, I clearly remember it because Mass Vote shuttered their youth program March of 2020 because we shut down the
Right.
state.
Right.
And so I want to give a shout out to Stephen Godfrey of Quincy, Geneva, CDC, because they've been hosting Mass Vote in our youth program all summer. So
Okay.
we're truly grateful because we're right there on Warren Street in the middle of the community
Okay.
doing our thing, but they extended their space to us while we're waiting for our new space
Okay.
to be able to
Are you all moving into the hood?
right, we're definitely into my neighborhood because we were downtown and
Right,
they were like,
exactly.
"You don't need to be
41
downtown."
Winter Street. I remember going all them trainings and
Okay,
things,
all of West Street, we were
Yes.
in Government Center. We've always been downtown because we frequent the State House.
State
and
House,
City
right,
Hall.
right,
Well, we
right.
said the parking is terrible.
Exactly.
The rent was too high. That we're moving local, and we'll take the train in.
Right. But now you can just be right, here, and
Yes,
it's good because
exactly.
I tell you, it's just so many things that are happening. There's a lot of opportunities. I was blessed. I had 5 youth this summer. And so no, I had 12. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I
Right?
had 12. Yeah, but do we have a caller? I think we have a caller.
Lord.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Sister Priscilla. Thank you for all you do.
Good morning,
And,
Sister Grace. How you doing?
Good. I have a question for Cheryl Prophet. You just explained that about the because I still don't understand what you're saying about that voting.
The ranked choice voting.
Yeah, ranked choice voting. Can you give an example? Like our last election, we had people who ran for mayor, like Mayor Wu,
Sabi George.
Yeah, Kasabi George. Yeah.
Let me explain it this way. I mean, that you named 2 for the mayor. I want to use city council at large, right?
Okay.
We had like 16 people running
Yeah.
for that position, right? We had 16 people, which meant everybody could vote for whoever they wanted to. We had ranked choice voting, and I don't want to be quoted, but whoever won, all I know is they didn't win by a lot because we had a low turnout, as we normally do during municipal elections. 16 people running, you as the voter get to rank your top 4 candidates. This is my first choice. This is my second choice, third, and fourth choice by putting 1, 2, 3, 4. When they count the ballots, all the first choices are counted. If there is someone that received 51% of the vote, they are the winner. After they counted the votes and it's less than 50% for the people with the lowest amount of votes drop off, right? Let's say there's 16 people, maybe number 13 through 16, 12 through 16, they drop off. But the people that voted for those people that fell off the ballot, their second choice is put back in the system when they do the second round of runoff. Their second choice, whoever they chose. So those ballots are reallocated to the people that made it through and are still on the ballot for the second round. That will continue with them dropping off the lower 2 or 4 until someone in a round reaches 50 plus 1. What we want to accomplish here is a majority vote. I don't know if that helped.
Okay, so you're saying that that's a fair process, that the last 2 get dropped off.
Right, because normally the last 15 would be dropped off because only one person would win. Well, in an at-large is the 4.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying? Normally, whoever wins, whether they win at 3%, 10%, 50%, it doesn't matter. Everybody else would be dropped off the ballot, and they would move to the general election in November. But what they want to do is give more people an opportunity.
Okay, so in terms of the last election, they drew new redistricting lines, and those lines were drawn so that there's no, those lines was drawn so that there could not be like a majority black vote. So the black vote was divided up into other districts, so there could not be no majority black vote or majority this vote or majority, so it could not be no majority ethnic vote, the way they divided up the voting line. And now we have 60,000 black people who have moved out of the city of Boston. So how those 2 initiatives with this new thing that you're talking about, how is that going to help the black community and the black vote? Since our vote has been now divided up, and we've lost. None of the leaders is talking. None of the black leaders is talking about the 60,000 black people that have been displaced and moved out of the city of Boston. Black churches are having to sell their properties. We need to talk about this, and we need to talk about it in terms of voting.
We do. We're both, Priscilla and I are very much, every time it comes up, we're involved in the redistricting process. We sit in there and we fight for those lines. We look at the numbers. We've studied this redistricting ad nauseum, right? Like we are in it day and night, ensuring that what you just described does not happen. Right? Like
it already happened, because I'm in District 4. My councilor said that our district was majority black. Our district was aligned with Neponsit. And so our black vote has been diluted. And so, as you know, Roxbury is being heavily gentrified. And the black vote now is like pushed up to Dorchester, Mattapan area, but now they cut up Mattapan and redistrict that. So no, we need to look at those redistricting lines again. We need to look at the number of black folks that have moved out of the city, and who are you talking? Where is the black vote now? It's diluted.
I do. I hear you. Yes, we have people
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the city of Boston is
But-
being gentrified, and we understand that people are moving outside of Boston. There's two parts here. Those folks that are moving outside of Boston, we're staying connected with those folks in other part of the state, especially as we do the work that we do with the democracy hubs and our regional work. Because even though you're not in Boston does not mean you cannot have a voice. And as we redistrict the entire state, you're talking about the redistricting of Boston. Redistricting has
Right.
many components a part of it, right? Like the number of people, as you mentioned, 60,000 people moving out. Well, we have to shuffle the lines in such a way that the population is balanced amongst all 9 city council districts. That has to happen first because that's a part of redistricting. What we do our best to do is to not gerrymander it. Like it has to be contiguous. There's so many factors. It cannot be cracked, cannot be packed. We make sure that those rules still apply. We do still have majority districts in the city of Boston. Although we've had to shuffle the lines, move the lines, shift the lines, and people have moved out, we still are fighting. Some of that has occurred, what you said, in terms of the shifting of lines, but we still have majority black districts in the city of Boston. They may be a little bit narrow because what we do is you move and you shift. And a prime example was, I'm going to bring it up, Charles Yancey's district, because remember there was a lot of contention about that. It was
Yeah,
just
I'm in Charles Yancey's district, which is Council World's district.
Exactly. Charles Yancey's district was almost 98% black.
Exactly.
You don't need a district to be 98% black to have a black representative. Our goal is to make sure that we have representation throughout all of the districts.
Wait. What did you just say? You don't
district
need 98%?
Correct. You do not need a district to be 98% black, one black, for you to have a counselor or a representative or representation that looks like you. You don't need 98%. But what was needed...
Why do you say that?
Because it doesn't take that many people. What we needed, because we had that district was 98%, and the 2 districts on each side of it did not have a majority of people of color, so you could only... I call that packing. You're packing one district heavily, so you are going to get a black person. But what about the 2 districts beside it? Since you don't need 98%, peel off some of that, put it to the right, put it to the left, so that you have you make opportunity districts on both sides of a district. Now, we did not dilute that district so much that you could not get a person of color in there. We made it such that you could still keep a person of color in there, but both sides.
You could get you can get a person of color, but you can't get a black American.
Well, you could.
That's what you can't.
We got Andrea
No,
Campbell in there. She's a black American, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No,
Andrea
she's not on the city council.
Yeah,
She
We're
was.
talking about the city.
Andrea, when
Yeah.
this happened with Charles Yancey, Andrea Campbell's the one that took him out.
Right.
No. But this I'm talking about this last redistricting where City World.
Oh, with
district
the
was-
last one that we had
Yeah,
to
this
fight.
They
last
fought
one.
like crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with the-
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's only so much fighting we can do as people
Right.
on
They
the ground.
they went to court.
We sued.
Aaron Murphy, Baker,
Honey.
Flynn, and Flaherty went to court and fought against that redistricting map, and
That's
that's why they had to go back and because the judge sided with them.
That's right.
Talking about, did they say it was too black?
So we,
Right.
as
So
people
our
on the
district has
ground,
so our district has been further divided since when you were talking about it, and now that I like to know what's the statistics of black people in each district now, since 60,000 has been displaced, the lines have been redrawn.
Yep.
Where is the population now?
we're spread out all over wherever we can afford, right? Like they've moved out to Brockton,
Okay, so
Randolph,
our voice has been diluted.
No, because
But-
Stoughton and Randolph and Brockton are black districts.
Right,
Those are districts
right.
Yeah,
majority
but
people of
we're
color.
talking about in the city of
We're-
Boston.
I'm
because
talking about the
we have
Commonwealth
nothing
of
to do with-
Massachusetts.
Oh, okay, but we live in the city of Boston, so that's why my focus is
I hear
here.
you. Mm-hmm.
My focus is here on we have a reparations task force there.
We have-
We're fighting for reparations. 60,000 of the people who used to live here don't live here no more. Furthermore, are being displaced out of the city.
I know.
Our
This is
ancestors
so great.
built the resources here. What you know?
I
we
hear
need
you.
to
I
talk
do.
about where. I don't know where.
Well,
you live,
Grace,
but
I'm
this
gonna
is where
call
we
you
live.
because we're putting together a pack. We are putting together a pack, and I'm gonna be calling you because you definitely need to be part of it. And what we have a minute left. My goodness, time flies
Thank
when you're
you,
having
both
fun.
ladies.
Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you,
Those
Grace,
were
for
great
calling.
conversation. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
So we done. That was a fast hour, right?
It
Yeah,
was.
you're gonna have to come back on though somebody else's show.
I
Maybe
can't
Ron
wait. We're gonna
Bell's,
have more good stuff to share.
Pastor Hobbs, yeah,
Yes, please,
yeah,
please,
because
please.
our community needs this. We need this radio station because
Yes.
we don't do just like a 2 or 3 minute sound bite. We invite you to come in and let us know what's going on in our community. That's why it's called People Power with Priscilla. We are the people and we have the power.
And thank you so much, Priscilla, for
Yeah.
doing the work that you're doing
Yeah, thank you.
inside this room here and out in the community.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. So that is it. We are out. People Power with Priscilla. Next